न solta guruji
no
शुक्लां भरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहं सर्वोपनिषदो गावो सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचानूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नमः शिवाय इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवप्रसीद इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवात् परमन इति शिवं प्रपद्ये शिवोऽहमस्मि इति शिवं प्रपद्ये ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधिता भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततत्कधेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः. Thank you.
Okay. So we have to start the second chapter. Before that, we have to see how is the connection to the first chapter we have completed so far. At the end of the first chapter, we had seen that the general description of each chapter is given by the conventional system, where the Bhagavad Gita and Upanishads are equated. In other words, what Bhagavad Gita is teaching is none other than what the Upanishad is teaching. That should be very clear. Then Upanishad is nothing but is another name for Vedanta. Vedanta-ngaradu Vedanam antaha bhavati iti Vedantaha. That portion of Veda which is at the end of every Veda is called Vedanta. Okay? And this Vedanta, the Tatparyam of Vedanta is different from the Tatparyam of Veda. The Purva Bhaga are called Karma Kanda. Purva Bhaga is called generally Veda, which is in other words is teaching the Karma Kanda, all what is the kartavyam karma to be done, etc. And the Uttarakanda or the later portion Vedanta is called the Jnana Kanda. The very fact it is Jnana Kanda, it is teaching about Jnanam. And the jnanam is nothing but Atma Jnanam. Atma Jnananaka, Atmanaka, the word Atma is derived different manner. We will look at it later. But Atmangaradhukku real meaning is whatever we are selling non-ground illaya. In all our transaction, I did this, aham pashyami, aham shrunomi, aham langayami, aham gacchami. Ella இடத்திலும் we are using the word aham ground. Correct? But in the aham yaar what is the swarupam of aham, we don't know correctly. We all have making a common mistake of telling aham is equal to this body, mind, intellect. Okay, that is what aham solrom. But what the Jnanakanda says, the real swarupam of the person who says aham is nothing but Atma. And the Atma is or Jiva is nothing but Ishvara, the Brahman. That means there is an equation, so to say, this Jivatma is equal to Paramatma or Brahman. That is the equation. Okay? This is my introduction la pesirken. When and whenever there is an equation, the equation conveys certain thing which is not obvious. Look at it, the equation might look different. The left side of the equation and right side of the equation will look different. For a normal person to look at it, the left hand side and right hand side will look different. Okay? Will only look different. But the very fact the equation is put, really speaking, the left hand and the right hand are conveying the same entity. Example na paathirukom. Okay? 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4. Okay? No. 3 plus 2 is 5. Now namak therinjidum. Adhe mari 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. But at the same time, we don't write 5 is equal to 5 abingiradhu nobody is writing. Because it is obvious. 5 is 5 engiradhu obvious. But when it is written 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4, that obviousness of 5 is not known to a student of first standard. Correct? The person who is not yet has got the proper knowledge, he or she may not know that 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4. Correct? Ilya? But at the same time, it is a true. The equation is always conveying a fact. Equation is conveying a fact. What is a fact? Also we have seen. A fact is a fact which is always true. Whether it is morning, evening, afternoon, night, whether it is Bhuloka, Swargaloka, Padalaloka, Brahmaloka, or whatever it may be, an equation is correct. It's always correct. These are all the simple things to be remembered. Okay? And to the student, the teacher has got a methodology to convey 3 plus 2. How to convey, she might say. She will give 3 pencils to the child. You hold it on your right hand and then count how many are there. The child, knowing the count, is a 1, 2, 3. It counts. Then she gives 2 more pencils and then ask the child to hold it on the left hand, and ask again to count. It's a 1, 2. Then she will collect all of them and again give it to the same child. Now count how many pencils are there. Then the child will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way, teacher has conveyed 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. Similarly, the other way around, first she will give 9 pencil, ask the child to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then she will remove 4 pencil and then ask again the child to count how many are there. It will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That way she will convey that 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4. Then once that is given, the child understands that this equation is correct. It is conveying a fact. Left hand side is also conveying 5. Right hand side is also conveying 5. But when it is written on the blackboard, it looks the left hand side and right hand side, even after understanding for a general person, it looks totally different, because different numbers are there on the left hand side, different numbers are there on the right hand side. One side it is a plus sign, another side it is a minus sign. So that differences continue to be there for the eye to see, but transcending the difference, the fact conveyed is the left hand side is also 5, right hand side is also 5. Okay? So similarly, what the equation that the Vedanta, Upanishad or the Gita conveys is the what we normally call it as a Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. So left hand side is Jivatma, right hand side is Paramatma. Left hand side will be the entity, the he or she will be a limited person. The right hand side will be the Paramatma, nothing but Ishvara or God, which is unlimited, all pervading. So the all pervading Ishvara is on the right hand side, and left hand side will be the limited Jiva. But how the limited Jiva is equal to all pervading Ishvara? A normal person may not be able to understand, but there is an equation sign given by the Vedanta, and the whole Veda is given by Bhagavan himself, so it cannot be wrong, it must be correct only. We only have to question our side, our understanding, how this Jivatma is Paramatma. Okay, any doubt for anybody? Because each step is very important.
இல்ல சார், அதுக்கு முன்னாடி தான் நினைச்சேன் லிமிட்டட் அன்லிமிட்டட் எப்படி ஈக்குவல் பண்ண முடியும்னு கேட்டேன், பட் யூ ஆர் எக்ஸ்பிளைனிங் தட். ஃபைன் சார்.
ஓகே, இன்னொரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொல்லணும்னாக்கா, நான் சொல்லியிருக்கேன், சமுத்திரம் இருக்கு, சமுத்திரத்துல வேவ் இருக்கு, அலை இருக்கு. ஓகே, இந்த அலை சமுத்திரத்திலேருந்தே வந்ததுதான், சமுத்திரத்திலேயே இருக்கு, சமுத்திரத்திலேயே கரைய போறது. இது சமுத்திரம் தான் ரியலி ஸ்பீக்கிங். பட் என்ன சொல்றோம், அந்த அலைங்கிறதுக்கு தனியா ஒரு பேர் சொல்றோம், சமுத்திரங்கிறதுக்கு தனியா ஒரு பேர் சொல்றோம். சமுத்திரம் இஸ் இன் த பிளேஸ் ஆஃப் தி பரமாத்மா, because it is compared to wave, it is all pervading, பெருசு மகத். whereas அலை சின்ன அலை பெரிய அலைன்னு பெருசா இருக்கு, நிறைய இருக்கு அலை. லைக் ஜீவாத்மா நிறைய அலை இருக்கு. But like Paramatma, ocean is only one, sea is only one. Appo, conveying this, we put left hand side, the wave is equal to right hand side, ocean. Exactly similar to Jiva and the Paramatma. How the ocean and the small, all-pervading ocean, how it could be equal to a limited wave? Idea is we transcend the obvious difference and try to see what is the intrinsic nature of wave. Similarly, we try to see what is the intrinsic nature of ocean. Correct? So the intrinsic swarupa of wave is nothing but water. Correct? And the intrinsic nature of ocean is also water. So the transcending the difference, we understand water on the left hand side is equal to water on the right hand side. Exactly. Transcending the difference of 3 plus 2 is 5, and transcending the difference 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. The intrinsic value is 5 and 5. Similarly, the intrinsic nature of Jiva, every individual, and the intrinsic nature of the Paramatma are both one and the same. And in what way it is same? It is in terms of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Jiva's intrinsic nature, Swarupam, is also Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Ishvara's intrinsic nature is also Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. That way the equation is arrived at. கேட்கறதுக்கு நன்னா இருக்கு, பட் இது like the teacher when she or he teaches to the students have got the shraddha on the teacher to begin with. So the student takes it totally as shraddha, what teacher says must be correct. So when she put that equation 3 plus 2 is equal to 9 minus 4, it takes for granted it must be correct only. Till it understand exactly how it is, left hand side is 5, right hand side is 5. So what happens actually on the part of the student having shraddha on the teacher, surrenders to the teacher's method of teaching and allows oneself to completely absorb in the teaching. Having done that student understand that both are 5 and 5 only. Similarly, we also have to surrender to the pramanam, the Vedanta, because it is Ishvara himself is the Vedanta. So it must be correct. But எனக்கு தெரியலையே how I, the Jiva, limited Jiva is equal to all pervading Brahman, எனக்கு தெரியலையே அப்படின்னாக்கா we have to surrender ourselves to the pramanam, the Vedanta. Once we surrender totally, always questioning our understanding, then we will like that same child understand 5 is equal to 5. Okay? The only difference is in the case of the teacher and the student, everything is available pratyaksham. Pencil is pratyaksham, the blackboard is pratyaksham, the equation put on the blackboard is pratyaksham. Pratyaksham means all obvious. We are able to see or experience. Whereas the Jivatma is equal to Paramatma is not pratyakshama paakar samayatla. Different irukku. Kannala paakradhu kaadala kekkara samayatla different irukku. நம்ம காலங்காலமா பிரத்யக்ஷத்தை மட்டும்தான் கரெக்ட் நினைச்சிருந்து when we are working, it is very difficult for us to understand Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணணும்? We had to prepare ourselves. Like the child prepare itself in counting first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Similarly, we have to prepare ourselves. This preparation, what I was talking about it in the introduction long back, is the 40 samskaras which one has to undergo by the Veda. Veda talking about it, 40 samskara. What the samskara makes? What exactly the samskara makes?
நம்ம கர்த்தவிய கர்மா வந்து நம்ம அந்த சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் 40
what it makes, what it brings about.
It makes you eligible for atmanjnana, jivatma paramatma aikyam.
What is the exact word I used? The 40 samskaras starting from Garbhadanam onwards. Okay? I called it as a converting a Prakrita Purusha into Samskrita Purusha. Correct? Prakrita Purushanaka, raw person, like all of us. Into the Samskrita Purushanaka, we have been refined. எப்படி வந்து இந்த பூமியிலேருந்து எடுக்கிற வந்து அந்த crude oil வந்து is crude oil is a பிராகிருதம். அதுல எல்லா விதமான கலப்படமும் இருக்கு. அந்த crude oil எடுத்து the process what we do is called refining. That is called Sanskritam. Sanskritamங்கிறதுக்கு English word is called refining. When the crude oil is refined, finally we get the petrol. Correct? All double refining, triple refining and all will be there. With respect to that, the octane level of the fuel will increase. So that's a process. Similarly, all of us, we are all Prakrita Purusha. Purushana, it includes everybody. As per the Vedanta, Veda, Purusha includes everyone, not the male person and all. Okay? So it makes everybody a Prakrita Purusha into the Samskrita Purusha, the 40 samskaras. அந்த சம்ஸ்காரங்கள் பண்ணினாக்கா then one becomes a refined person, is able to now understand the equation Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. Okay? So what Gita does, first it explains how Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. First it is only say. Okay? Then, if still theoretically if we understand, but we need to know I am that Jivatma is nothing but Paramatma. That has to come intrinsically in us. We should know at any point of time. For which we have to prepare ourselves. We have to become Samskrita Purusha. Okay? So Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. That is called the Jnana Yoga. And to prepare oneself for eligibility of Jnana Yoga is called Karma Yoga. So Karma Yoga is the preparation. Then Jnana Yoga is the understanding Jivatma is equal to Paramatma. So every step is important. All of you have to remember this. Okay? இப்போ இந்த நம்ம எக்ஸாம்பிள் எடுத்தானக்கா இந்த சைல்டுக்கு கவுண்டிங் 1 2 3 4 எக்ஸெட்ரா கவுண்டிங் அது சொல்லி கொடுக்காம அந்த ஈக்குவேஷன் 3 + 2 = 9 and 9 - 4 புரியாது இல்லையா? For the child to understand, it should have undergone the counting first, and it should have known what is the addition, what is the subtraction. இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சாதான் it can understand the equation. Similarly, so in order to understand the Vedanta or Bhagavad Gita teaching that Jivatma is equal to Paramatma, we have to qualify ourselves. Otherwise, we have to get the Adhikaritvam. It's called getting Adhikaritvam. Technically, it is called Jnana Yogyata Praptam. ஞானத்துக்கு வேண்டிய யோகிதைகளை அடைவது. எப்படி ஒருத்தருக்கு PhD மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ்ல PhD வேணும்னாக்கா that person should have completed a MSc மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ், அதுக்கு முன்னால BSc மேத்தமேட்டிக்ஸ் முடிச்சிருக்கணும், அதுக்கு முன்னால +2 பாஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். இப்படி எல்லாம் பண்ணாதான் +2 பாஸ் பண்ணாதான் that person is eligible for getting admission into BSc. BSc successfully mudichirundha he gets eligible for the MSc. MSc mudichirundha he is eligible for PhD. Similarly, that adhikaritvam for the Jnana Yoga is be obtained by following Karma Yoga lifestyle. Karma Yoga, which is what the Bhagavad Gita is teaching, is nothing but the modified 40 samskaras in a different manner into our day-to-day life. Okay? இதெல்லாம் முன்னாடி சொல்லியிருக்கேன். I'm only recollecting it, how this thing. How it is, it's 40 samskaras are nothing but Karma Yoga is, and the 40 samskara பொறுத்தவரைக்கும் all of them are Veda Vigitam. வேதத்துல சொன்னது. வேதத்துல சொன்னது it will be applicable as per the Varna Ashrama Vigitam. அந்த காலத்துல வர்ண ஆசிரமம் எல்லாம் தனியா இருந்ததுனால everybody was following it. Brahmana were following their varna whatever the thing viditam for them in the Veda, they were following. Kshatriya were following, Vaishya were following, and they were getting qualified. They were getting refined. Today that varnashrama is not there, then that samskaras we are not doing it also. So then how then we will get the qualification adhikaritvam jnana yogyata prapti? Adhikara, we taking the reality into the picture, whatever day-to-day job that we are doing today, it may not be the Vedam, all of them may not be Veda Vigidam Karma of 40 samskaras, but whatever we are doing it, whether we are going to the office, whether doing office work, we are doing teaching work, whether we are helping somebody else in the house, or whether they are cooking, whatever the job we are doing, we convert that karma into a karma yoga. அது எப்படிங்கிறத பார்க்க போறோம். So Gita is not only telling the jnana yoga, and the jnana yoga க்கு வேண்டி how to prepare it, the karma yoga also it teaches. Exactly. எப்படி what I said in the example, how so the jnana yoga will be equal to what? சொல்லுங்க. With respect to the child, the jnana yoga will be what?
5 plus 4
9 minus டீச்சர் சொல்றா கவுண்ட் பண்ணி கடைசியா சொல்ற அந்த 5 தான் அது ஞான யோகா.
என்னது?
கவுண்ட் பண்ணிட்டு கடைசியில 5 ன்னு கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது இல்லையா, அதுதான் ஞான யோகா.
அதுதான் ஞான யோகா. அதுக்குள்ள ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் என்ன?
ரைட் சைடுல வந்து 3 பென்சில் கொடுத்து லெஃப்ட் சைடுல 2 பென்சில் கவுண்ட் பண்ணறது.
அந்த சில்ட்ரனுக்கு கவுண்டிங் தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும், பிளஸ்னா மைனஸ்னா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும். இதுல மினிமம் இருந்தானக்கா that is called jnana yogyata prapti. So the counting and understanding plus minus in the example is equal to jnana yogyata prapti. Then jnana prapti is equal to understanding left hand side and right hand side are 5 only. Now anytime with the kepan you should be able to see this is the tatparyam of the whole thing. So what is jnana yoga, what is karma yoga? Idu rendiyume Bhagavad Gita is teaching. Okay. Okay. Now how then that we need to look at it, how the first chapter becoming relevant for the further things that are coming in the Bhagavad Gita. Really speaking, the second chapter 11th sloka onwards only, the straight away the jnana yoga topic starts. Second chapter 11th sloka up to 30th sloka, straight away Bhagavan is telling to Arjuna jnana yoga. Okay, and first one he has to understand what is the one has to know, and later he talks about it, the karma yoga also in the second chapter. Okay, then how then it is connected to the first chapter, that also we need to understand. So in the beginning what happens in the, what is the name of the first chapter?
Arjuna Vishada Yoga.
Vishada Yogam. What is that meaning?
கவலை.
Arjuna's confusion.
அவனோட
confusion Arjuna ஓடது.
Confusion born out of
self pity. நம்ம பண்றமே feeling.
Here steps irukku, we will still look at it. starting from the Kripa onwards, he seeing his own people, he want to kill them. He Karuna, he had a Kripa, and then afterwards it converted into an attachment, etc. At the end of it, he decided he will not do the war because it will end up in killing so many people, and hence he will go to Naraka. So he being a person of dharmic nature, he looked at it, some of the dharmic dharma in the society, and he will be violating that if he has to do this war. Hence, there was a confusion on his part, which led him to the moha, shoka. Shoka and moha. Shokam naka, grief. Okay, sort of a despair. And that came about because of the moha, confusion. Confusion between what is real, what is the parama dharma, and what is the relative dharma, or what is the difference between dharma and adharma. You know, very important. Okay, the dharma adharma is a confusion, moha, which led the Arjuna to shoka. Correct? So then he declared, I am shoka purushaha. I am a grieving person. This is what he had concluded, and thence I will not resort to the war. But he know that initially when he came for the war, he know that they have to do their duty as a kshatriya to establish dharma in the society so that everybody can live peacefully. But that ultimate dharma he forgot, and then he looked at it, a relatively small dharma violation, he looked at it. There was a confusion. We had seen that quite a lot. So now the shoka purusha is what is being addressed. So the first chapter brings out the context of a person who is involved in shoka and moha, which is also our own condition. We are also day in, day out are encountering shoka in some measure or more. Some days it is more, some days it is less. And all this thing is coming because some violation of dharma or not knowing what dharma to be followed, or what are the samskaras we have to follow, which by circumstances and by also the society being not encouraging, we are not able to follow, but that is also a guilt in us. Correct? So this whole thing, a person who is interested in knowing the jnana yoga, which says you are satyam jnanam anantam anandam brahma, then that person has to prepare for the jnana yoga, and for which only the second chapter starts. Even in the second chapter, first 10 sloka is again continues with the discussion between the Bhagavan and the Arjuna. All these things, the context should be very clear. Okay? Okay. So in other words, the confused person or the person who doesn't have that full adhikaritvam is what eligible for the Jnana Yoga. Then through Jnana Yoga, the conclusion regarding oneself, whether I am a Jiva or I am a Brahma, will be solved by the Upadesham of Bhagavan. That is what will follow. Okay. So we will begin with the first sloka of the second chapter, and then I will explain the further. For you all to follow easily, even later the chanting of the second chapter, you can look into the WhatsApp thing. I have sent it to you. So adila vandu easy ah padikradhukku easy ah irukum. We will follow that. Okay. So it starts with Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. ரெண்டு தடவை ரிப்பீட் பண்ணுங்க. repeat பண்ணுங்க. And for some time to come, each of you may say once. Okay. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha.
Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Sri Paramatmane Namaha.
Atat Vidiyodhyayah.
Atat Vidiyodhyayah. Atat Vidiyodhyayah.
Sanjaya Uvacha.
Sanjaya Uvacha. Sanjaya Uvacha.
Tam tatha kripaya vishtam.
Tam tatha kripaya vishtam. Tam tatha kripaya vishtam.
Ashrupurna kulekshanam.
Ashrupurna kulekshanam. Ashrupurna kulekshanam.
Vishidantamidam vakyam.
Vishidantamidam vakyam. Vishidantamidam vakyam.
Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Uvacha Madhusudanaha. Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Sanjaya Uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam. Ashrupurna kulekshanam. Vishidantamidam vakyam. Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Sanjaya Uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam. Ashrupurna kulekshanam. Vishidantamidam vakyam. Uvacha Madhusudanaha. Sanjaya Uvacha tam tatha kripaya vishtam. Ashrupurna kulekshanam. Vishidantamidam vakyam. Uvacha Madhusudanaha.
Okay, ovuthurum padinga. All of you read separately.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपया विष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः पढ़ियो
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः सांख्ययोगः सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणं विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णाकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः।
Okay. So it starts with Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Okay, the Om is always represents the Brahman. We had seen earlier also. So Om is Brahman, and that Brahman is nothing but Paramatma. Okay, so to that Paramatma, who is also Om, and who is also here in this particular Gita, remains as the Guru. So the Sri is representing the Guru Krishna, Bhagavan. So the Om, the Brahman, and Sri, the Bhagavan Krishna, who is also Paramatma. Unto the Paramatma Namaha, my salutation. Paramatma word is the Pratama Vibhakti Ekavachanam. The Pradipadikam is Paramatman, Nakarantaha Pullingaha, Paramatman Shabdaha. Then Paramatma will be Pratama Ekavachanam, and Paramatmane will be Chaturthi Vibhakti Ekavachanam. For or unto that Paramatma my Namaskaram. And who is that Paramatma?
सर्वव्यापी.
Okay, and who is Sarvavyapi?
Brahman.
இல்ல நம்ம வந்து அதுவா இருக்கும். ஸ்ரீகிருஷ்ணன் நம்ம.
That is what is in the Jivatma is Paramatma, which we have to understand, but that is a fact. Now முதல்ல சொன்ன மாதிரி 3 + 2 = 9 - 4 is not becoming fact after I understand. It is a fact all the time. Even before I was born, it is a fact. Similarly, Aham Paramatma is a fact. It is a question of not knowing all of our of Ajnani. Once we expose to the Guru and the Shastram, then we understand the equation, then we know already the fact is myself. Okay, so this also is very clear. Adanalda every chapter starts with Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. So when we read this Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha, we have to remember, even if you don't know, at least we have to make the auto suggestion, unto the Paramatma my Namaskara, who is nothing but myself. So enakke Namaskaram, every one of us. Okay, then athana, now thereafter, after the first chapter, thereafter Dvitiyodhyayaha. There is a sandhi is there. What type of sandhi? Dvitiyodhyayaha. Unmute பண்ணிட்டு சொல்லுங்க.
द्वितीयः अध्यायः गुरुजी.
द्वितीयः अध्यायः. So Visarga Sandhi brings in the O and a of adhyaya is replaced by that avagraha yes like thing. So நம்ம வந்து படிக்கிறதானக்கா நிறுத்தி படிக்கிறதானக்கா atha dvidiyaha adhyayaha சேர்த்து படிக்கிறதானக்கா dvidiyodhyayaha. Okay, okay. So இந்த அத்தியாயத்துக்கு பேர் வந்து சாங்கியஹா சாங்கியயோகஹா சாங்கியயோகஹா. Okay, சாங்கியயோகஹானக்கா சாங்கிய அப்படிங்கிற வேர்டு is derived from some as a prefix, some prefix plus kya is the dhatu root word kya. Kyangradu ka ka, the second ka word kakara, kakara yakara akara kya. So that is the root word some plus kya, which belongs to the second gana parasmaipadi. The meaning of kya, if you look at it in the dhatu kosha, it is in the meaning of gamane, gamane, to go, to tell contextually, to tell. Sanskrit word for the tell with prakathane, prakathane. Kathanam gra ka and tha will be second tha. Prakathane mean to tell. And some friks iruksamla nandraga solradhu artham. That which is told very well, that which is taught very well, that is called Sankhya Yoga. So that which is being very clearly told is the topic of the second chapter. In terms of the etymological meaning, samyak tatparyena khyayate, samyak tatparyena khyayate. எழுதி வச்சுக்கோங்க, ரெஃபரன்ஸ் எல்லாம் மினிமம், because the sankhyaங்கிற word different meanings are there in Gita itself is going to give in different meaning. அதனால the second chapter meaning சமயத்துல this is the meaning. Samyak nandraha tatparyena, with the ultimate target or tatparyam, ultimate meaning. Tatparyena khyayate is told. In other words, what is taught with conviction by a jnani. A jnani only can teach the atma jnanam. Ajnani cannot teach. So here the jnani is Bhagavan himself. So he is teaching to an ajnani Arjuna. What he is teaching is called Sankhya Yoga. Harika doubt irika? Okay. Then overall paathanaka, in the second chapter la 72 slokas are there. 72 slokas are there, which are conveying three main topics. This is also very important. You should know how the structure is there. So 72 the slokas conveying three distinct topics. Okay, one is, first topic is Atma Jnanam or Atma Swarupam. In fact, when we say aham aham, what is the real meaning of this aham or not? That is called Atma Swarupam. In other words, one's own intrinsic nature. One's own intrinsic nature. Vedathla eduthanaka, this is called Jnana Yoga. Veda division la, this Atma Jnanam is called Jnana Yoga. Synonymous adila. Okay. So Atma Jnanam or Atma Swarupam is the first topic, starting from 2:11 onwards. So in the example of the child, what is the Atma Jnanam he gets? Unmute பண்ணிட்டு சொல்லுங்க.
Both are same.
What?
9 minus 5 equal to 3 plus 2.
அவ்வளோ சொல்ல வேண்டிய அவசியம் இல்லை. ஃபைனலா என்னது? The understanding 5. Understanding what is 5 is the Atma Jnanam. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then the second topic is how to prepare oneself for the Atma Jnanam. Second topic of the Dvitiya Adhyaya is the how to prepare oneself for the Atma Jnanam. In other words, it is called Karma Yoga. Called Karma Yoga. So in the example of the child, what is this? How to prepare is equal to what? How the child is prepared?
Addition and subtraction he has to know.
By using hands.
That is good.
Using hands.
Addition, subtraction, counting. Idellam preparation. Okay. That is second topic. Then the third topic is how a Atma Jnani will transact in the world. Atma Jnanam Vandanaka is not any special person. He'll be like one of us only. Bhagavan Krishna is an Atma Jnani or not?
Atma Jnani only.
அவர் நம்மள மாதிரி தான் எல்லாத்தையும் பண்ணிட்டார். இன்ஃபேக்ட் மகாபாரதம் வாரும்போது he was nothing but a driver only. பார்த்தசாரதி தான். நான் முன்னாடியே சொல்லியிருக்கேன், when he has got a role of பார்த்தசாரதி, whatever the role that ought to be done, he did it also. He didn't took himself as neither as a Bhagavan nor as a Jnani. As a driver, Parthasarathi, he has got a responsibility to tend the ratha and the horses. So every day during the war, he will குதிரையெல்லாம் குளிப்பாட்டி அதுக்கெல்லாம் இதெல்லாம் ஆகாரம் எல்லாம் கொடுத்து அதுக்கு வேற ஏதாவது ப்ரீவியஸ் டே ஏதாவது இன்ஜுரி இருந்தானாக்கா அதெல்லாம் ட்ரீட்மெண்ட் கொடுத்து அதெல்லாம் பண்ணுவார். யாரு? பகவானே பண்ணுவார். So he will transact like any other person. So it's not something ஞானி ஆச்சனக்கா லைட் இருக்கும், தலைக்கு பின்னாடி லைட் இருக்குங்கிறதுலாம் கிடையாது, ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. ஓகே ஓகே. So the third topic is how Atma Jnani will transact in the world. So என்ன மூணு டாபிக் யாரா சொல்லுங்க.
சார் ஒண்ணு வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வந்து ஆத்ம ஞானம் or ஆத்ம ஸ்வரூபம், one's own intrinsic nature. ஆத்ம ஞானம் or ஆத்ம ஸ்வரூபம், one's own intrinsic nature என்னங்கிறத பார்த்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது. ரெண்டாவது வந்து how to prepare oneself for ஆத்ம ஞானம். மூணாவது வந்து how an ஆத்ம ஞானி will transact in the world.
Okay, the first topic is general name என்னது வேதால?
first இதுல வந்து
ஞான யோகம்
ஞான யோகம்
second க்கு என்ன பேரு இன்னைக்கு வேதா
கர்ம யோகம்
அதுவும் ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கணும் ஞான யோகா karma yoga and jnani how you will transact. These are the topic, the general decision. And this, as I said, this starts from only 2:11 onwards. Between 2:1 and 2:10 still the conversation is going on between Bhagavan and the Arjuna. Arjuna went through certain transformation in the first chapter, leading to shoka and moga, and decided that he will not do the war. That is the transformation he went through because of certain problem rest on him. Now, between the first sloka and the 10th sloka of the second chapter, there is another transformation is taking place on the part of Arjuna because of Bhagavan's upadesh, Bhagavan's advice to him. It's not even advice. Bhagavan is only pointing out to Arjuna what is kartavyam karma for him. In other words, the kartavyam karma is what we had seen in the Veda as the 40 samskaras, to be done karmas. Okay? And the to be done karma, which is the 40 samskara, is transforming into Arjuna's case of establishing dharma in the society. When he had the confusion, Bhagavan, having heard him all what he was talking about it, Bhagavan is now telling him what he should do. And Arjuna still put forward his argument, and finally Arjuna understands there seems to be a fallacy in his line of thinking. He understands because of his the transaction with Bhagavan. And then Arjuna surrenders to Bhagavan. Aranda he says in so many words, I seem to be confused, so I am surrendering to you, the Guru, and you please teach me what is the most beneficial to me, what is shreyas to me, what will lead me to moksha, what will lead me to atma jnanam, you teach me. This is what is happening between 2:1 and 2:10. So then what happens is, like the child has got full faith or shraddha in the teacher, here Arjuna had some confusion. That confusion was removed, and then he had full shraddha in Bhagavan. And Bhagavan was the Vedakarta, Vedanta Karta. So he will then teach the counting plus minus to Arjuna, and then he will get the preparation, and he will also understand 5 is equal to 5. This is what is the preliminary thing which is happening between 2:1 and 2:10. Okay? We will continue with the next class. How this is going on. There are doubts in the Kalinga. We are also in the Arjuna is only a model. in the Arjuna's place, whatever Bhagavan is teaching to Arjuna, each and everything is applicable to us. Only difference is both Arjuna also has to follow Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. We also has to follow Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Only difference is certain places we had to interpret the teaching in which is suitable for today's contemporary society. Arjuna did not go to an office. He did not work in a bank. He did not work in a government office. Nothing of the sort. Today there are no Kshatriya. Today there is no Brahmana to say. So those differences are there. Then when the discussion is going on, when Bhagavan is teaching Arjuna, you do this, you do this, you don't do this as per the Vedanta, we need to understand how it will be applicable to us. These are all the things we need to. So it is basically Bhagavad Gita is meant for us. Okay, வேற ஒன்றும் இல்லைன்னா முடிச்சிருங்க. இருந்தாருக்கா வேற கொஸ்டின் இருந்தா கேளுங்க. See, once the 211 starts, I would like everybody to send me a paragraph of what your understanding of the class is. Very important. Appada, this is a Shastram. This is a Veda. வேதத்துல எத்தனை உண்டு நமக்கு ஸ்ரத்தை இருக்கோ அவ்வளவு ஸ்ரத்தா is required here. Okay, so unless until whether you are present in the class or absent in the class, that summary of one para of what you are understanding. I don't want you to repeat the sloka. This is what I understand in today's class. That should be there. And that is not to judge any of you. It's only to see whether all of you are in unison with my teaching, or some of you have problem with respect to certain words or certain thing, or all of you have got the same problem, in which case I have to modify and again talk about it, only from that point of view. But it is mandatory whether one attends a class or absent in the class. Even if you are absent, the recordings are available. You have to see, you have to hear the record, take note and send it to me. And send it to me well in advance. You are just sending to me on my Wednesday morning, I may not be able to have time to study it through. Then if I am not studying it through, then further what I am talking in the class may not be again relevant. Previous class correct irundha we can go for the next class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
சரி, வேற ஒண்ணு இல்லைன்னா முடிச்சிருங்க.
श्लोकं சொல்றேன் குருஜி. दुर्जनः सज्जनो भूयात् सज्जनः शान्तिमाप्नुयात् शान्तो मुच्येद्बन्धेभ्यः मुक्तश्चान्यान् विमोचयेत्. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्य परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः. गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं. लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
Okay, thank you.
धन्यवादः गुरुजी.
Thank you, sir.